Hi, hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a short video on strings, and I would show you how to traverse strings using a for loop. For loop syntax in Python is like you have to first of all use a keyword for, and then the space, and then a iterative variable that you would use in an index. Then you have to use a keyword in, and then you have to set a list or a tuple or a string or a range of numbers you have to iterate through. So in Python, it gives me an opportunity to traverse through the strings entities. And if I use a for loop on a string, then what would happen? My Python would run through each element and it can print it in the way I have shown you. So for example, if I want to print every element of my string, I would use a for loop like this. So here for D in banana, print D. So what would happen? It would traverse through each element, and if I count the values of the variable banana, they are 6. So the code would run 6 times and it would print each variable in banana. So if I run this line of code, you can see it's the previous one. So if I run the task 2, and now you can see that my Python would return me each variable, and it's like you start an indexing from 0 to 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 5. As I've told you earlier, Python indexes start from 0. So you can use any sort of class here like string or list and tuple and so on, and you can just iterate through each of them. So let's comment it out and see what would happen if I use an if and else statements on my strings. So for example, I have a string variable txt text, and I have passed in that a string called the best things in life are free. So I want to check here that if a string free exists in my variable defined. So it would check if there is a string free in my string variable text, then it would run the condition and it would print out yes, free is present. So if I run this line of code, what would happen? You can see that it returns yes, free is present, because the Python would pick up these letters free, the 4 digits, and it would traverse through the whole string, and yes, it found it at the last. So the statement got executed, I printed out the result. So the syntax for an if statement is like if you pass in the condition, and then in is a keyword, and then you can terminate with a colon. So just a reminder, whenever you are using a keyword for or if else or while loop, or even you are defining a function with the keyword def, you have to terminate it with a colon operator. And then at the end of those statements, you have to leave a blank line. So it shows that the loop is terminated. So now if I want to show that a certain number is not certain string part is not present, then how would I use? I would use another method, and it says that if this sort of string is not present in my variable text, then print this statement. So if I run this line of code, it says no, expensive is not present, because when my Python traversed through this whole string, it did not get any of the characters that makes the word expensive. So yes, this is one kind of method to check whether an alphabet or word is present in string or not. So this was a short video in which I have shown you how to traverse through the string using for loops, and how to check whether few elements appear in my strings or not. So, if you are new to our YouTube channel, then click on the notifications and please subscribe. And I would see you in the next video. So stay tuned and happy learning.